Hey friends, so after going out and voting yesterday, I was walking home down the back lanes over there, hoping to get lucky. And I did get lucky. I picked up a vacuum cleaner which had been thrown out by the bins. Awesome. Let's check it out. And you know what? It's really funny because I found this machine in almost exactly the same place that I found that Rio that had been abandoned in someone's hedge. It's like, how do you find these machines in exactly the same place? It's so weird. And this one's a goblin as well. We've got a real goblin theme going on currently on this channel. It's crazy. There's just so many goblins. So let me show you what I found. It's absolutely filthy. It is really filthy and it's full as well. But here he is, look. Look at that, check that out. Oh, what a find. What a find. Oh, God, the filth on it is just unbelievable. I don't know how long he was sat outside in the weather. But I think it was quite some time, actually. And I dread to think what's been on him. But yeah, there we go. Look, it's an AquaVac Multisystem 1000. And what's really funny is I remember my neighbours, Maggie and Kim, they were called back in the day. Probably talking 1992-ish. They had a Kirby heritage, and Maggie had that because her ex-husband used to work for Kirby in like the early 80s. So they got that machine at cost price. And when they split up, Maggie kept it, obviously, as you would. I mean, just get rid of the husband, keep the Kirby, duh, of course. And I remember she bought one of these in approximately 92. And this particular machine, because the Vax cleaners were so big and so popular at the time, it's called a Multisystem 1000 because it came with this ridiculous contraption for shampooing carpets. Because this is AquaVac and it's just budget and basic. It was just this ridiculous great big piece of plastic that you used to put hot water and shampoo into, and then you used to plug it into the cleaner. And there's no relation between the cleaner itself and the washing head. They are completely separate. Obviously they are connected via the suction hose so it can suck up the water, but for putting down the water and the shampoo, there's no connection. It's just one self-contained unit. They're absolutely terrible because all it is just gravity, and the water is just falling out of the container onto the carpet and just sitting on the carpet going and then immediately getting sucked up. So they were complete and utter rubbish, but they were very cheap, and that's why they were reasonably popular, actually. So you got this terrible thing, and the hose, obviously. Now I've got the hose down here. I haven't got all the attachments. And what is quite useful is that this hose is massive. It is an incredibly long hose. I think it's probably 2 meters, maybe even more than 2 meters, but it's huge. So we've got the hose, which again is covered in paint, just like the Rio's one was, and a couple of rods, and that's it. There's no bent end, no floor tool, no washing attachment, nothing. So that's what I found, this little AquaVac and this pile of hose. I'm just interested to see what model number this is. The AquaVac Type 6310B. We've got a serial number here, 20669101. So that doesn't really give us any clues as to the age of the machine. Does this phone number give us any clues? No, because it's an 0345 number. But yeah, we might find some information on the motor itself. Now I have no idea if this works, because as you can see, this little nubbin here, the cable's been cut off. It's just been snipped. Someone's just gone snip on it. So what we need to do now is we need to take this little chap up to the workshop. We need to get a cable on him and see if it works. He is, as I say, absolutely filthy. If I just pull up the top. There, you can see the filter is just covered and the bin is full and it stinks. So that needs to be sorted out, but we can do that, that's fine. That's not a problem. These clips are always a pain, they never really go on. This is the single clip version. I got it on earlier, but now I can't get it on anymore. Oh, there we go, I've got it. It's just so cheap, it's cheap and nasty, and it's just not very good. Now, any sensible person would have left this where it was. But I am not a sensible person. I am completely and utterly insane, and I just had to drag this little fella back home. So what we'll do now is we'll cut over to the workshop, we will whip the top off and see if it works. Let's go. Here we are in the workshop with our Multisystem 1000. So let's pop this lid off. I've got to be careful here because I'm going to get rubbish and dirt and detritus everywhere. So look, you can have a look in the bin now. There you go. There's all that lovely muck in there. Look at the muck in that. Oof, shocking. Now I'm just going to bring this here. I'm going to change your angle slightly so you can see better. Let's bring you over. There we go. Drop you down. Now, I did find some cable, some flex. It's down here. This is 2-core. So it's 2-core flex. The AquaVac does need 3 cores. This is 3-core flex on here, but I think just for the purposes of seeing if it works. Oh God. 2-core will do us. So let me just whip this section off. Right, let's remove the hat. There we go. And we can see the motor. Well, that doesn't sound too bad actually. Go and have a look. There we go. Let's bring you down. So obviously it's a bypass motor. Obviously, we give the bearing a bit of a move. There doesn't seem to be any play in there, so that's good. Might be a bit dry. Can't hear any ticks from the commutator, so we could be in luck here. We could very well be in luck. Now we need to get this old cable out. Like so, and we can just whip this out. Let's take these off. I think it might be easier if we remove this terminal block. Oh, flipping heck, I haven't got the right size. I've been putting more shelves up, so I haven't got the right size screwdrivers here. So let's just undo this terminal block, because that will make it much easier for us to work on. Oh, that actually comes off on a nut. Oh yeah, look, that's funny. There's like a captive nut there for that. Ooh, that's interesting. Look, someone's put laces on this flex. I don't think they did that from the factory. I think somebody has changed the cable before in the past. Because yeah, you don't normally get these. These are normally just bare ends of the wires. That's interesting. So let's pop our new cable in. I never know what to call it, whether to call it flex or cable. I'm used to calling it flex, really. That's what I was always taught to call it. So let's just pop this in. There we go. Now that should work now. I'm just thinking I might remove this filter because we are going to get an almighty poof of dust. Oh, this filter is not in very good shape, actually. I'm not even sure we can save that. Might be able to. It depends. Probably stinks too. Then let's pull that out so we can expose the float valve. Let's get rid of that. I'll just put it back in the tank for now. I'm just going to get the Miele vortex. There's no suction left on the Miele vortex. It'll pick that bit up. I think what I'm going to do after this, guys, is straight after video, we're going to look at the Miele vortex actually and see what kind of state that's in. So there we go. We've got a cable on. Should be all right. 13 amp fuse in there. Should be okay. And you're going to have to cover your ears now because this is going to be loud. These are loud. Let's hold on to it. Let's turn the switch on and we'll see what happens. say, that sounds amazingly good. genuinely does sound really good. For one of these machines, that's unbelievable. Genuinely unbelievable. So I'm just going to pop this back on. I think what we'll do is we'll just leave this 2-core flex on for now. I'm not going to sell this or anything. It's not going anywhere. No one else is going to use it apart from me. And I have no plans to use it to pick up wet stuff. Yeah, because I've got a Vax downstairs that is my general purpose wet machine. So this AquaVac won't be used for water. There we are. That's nicely in place. Let's pop the lid back on. Where did that go? Let's pop this back on. I'm just looking to see if there's any date stamps on it. I don't think they did put the date stamps on these. There's a spider there, look, a little tiny spider. There it goes. Oh, hang on. Ah, no, there is a marking here, but it just says 6. God knows what that is. Is there another one? Is there a cross-border? Normally there's 2, because you have one for months and one for the year. But I can only see one that is just pointing to 6. So that is of no help to us whatsoever. God, look, you see where the cable's been wrapped around? I think someone may have used this with the cable wrapped around it, because there's indentations here for where heat has melted the plastic in multiple places actually. It's unusual for flex to get that hot that it would melt this plastic, but something's gone on here, and it would be difficult to think about where that is. How would you get something in there, like a soldering iron or something, to actually melt that plastic? So, yeah, that's my theory anyway. Let's pop this back on. There we go. Well, that's amazing, isn't it? We have a working AquaVac. How cool! Well, that's not bad for a trash find, is it, really? I mean, I wasn't expecting to find anything down a back lane in the evening, even though I'd hoped. But certainly not a Goblin AquaVac Multisystem. Yeah, it's quite cool. I'm quite pleased with that, actually. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it one to collect, or is it just one to just get rid of? Maybe strip it for parts, keep the motor. But having said that, what would I do with the motor? I mean, I don't need its motor. I've got a spare bypass motor here, so I don't need it. But I don't know. I just got a thought. Maybe this would be useful for doing the cars. That's true, because of the hose. The hose is so long, and they are quite loud. Even though this one is not particularly ear-splittingly awful, they are quite loud machines, and you wouldn't really want to use it as a domestic cleaner. There are thousands of better cleaners you could use for that task. I certainly wouldn't pick one of these. If I'd lost my mind, then maybe I would. But really, to vacuum your house? The thing is, that massively long hose is really useful when you're cleaning a car. That is really, really useful. And the fact that it's got a 2-core flex on it, I can't use it for water. That would be very silly and very dangerous. So yeah, maybe this will be my car vacuum cleaner. I'll take it around to Mum's and she can have it in her house, because I always do the cars there. So I don't have to store it. It's awesome. Yeah, but there we go. So I hope you enjoyed this video, this random find. And don't forget to do the usual, commenting, subscribing and liking. And I'll see you in the next video. And right now, I am going to film a follow-up on the Hoover Vortex. So, Hoover Vortex. The Miele Vortex. So look out for that video coming up on the channel soon. Until then, you guys take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.